The sound of a bell, a signal that a long-standing ceremony is about to commence. The Speaker's procession here at the Ontario Legislature, a carefully orchestrated routine that is steeped in tradition dating back hundreds of years and believed to have started in England. At its core lies the Mace, a ceremonial staff that represents authority. With its heavy head and sturdy shaft, the Mace has roots in some of the earliest civilizations. Initially, it was an effective close combat weapon, gradually evolving over time from a tool of warfare into a symbol of civility. This transformation reflects its new role as a crucial component of our parliamentary process embodying the principles of governance and order.
Without the Mace, technically, the way our Parliament works is that we can't debate the laws. In any session, it needs to be present so that the laws can be debated and the laws can actually get through. So without that, we can't really have our parliamentary democracy and the laws that govern our society.
This particular Mace has been in use since 1867, following Confederation. But its lineage traces back to 1792, when parliamentary democracy was first established. The earlier version, introduced over 2 centuries ago by Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe, marked the convening of the first meeting of the Parliament of Upper Canada, now Ontario. Though made of wood, painted gold, and adorned with brass strips forming a crown, its symbolic value far surpassed its material worth. During the Battle of York in 1813, it was among the many items captured by American troops after fierce and bloody conflict.
For the Americans to take it, it was almost like symbolically taking power away from our democracy at the time. And it was done on purpose because they intentionally, it's almost to rob us of some of our democratic power symbolically.
Over a century later, that Mace ended up on display at a U.S. Naval Museum in Maryland.
At that time, Toronto was celebrating its 100th anniversary, centennial. President Franklin Roosevelt decided to pass an act of Congress to release this prize of war back to the people of Ontario.
This is the third Mace in the province's history, representing a significant upgrade from its predecessors. Weighing over 20 pounds and extending more than a meter in length, it is crafted from hollow copper tubing and adorned with delicate 23-karat gold leaf. Positioned underneath the crown within decorative brass leaves, the cup featuring the insignia of King Edward VII. The Sergeant-at-Arms, who is the guardian of the Mace, carries it into the Legislative Chamber to mark the beginning of each parliamentary sitting, to symbolize the authority of the Speaker in the House.
We start every day of business down at the Speaker's office, and I lead the Speaker's procession with the Mace. We come up the grand staircase into the chambers. Once the Speaker is in the dais, the Mace takes its place on the clerk's table, pointing towards the government. From that point in time, the authority there is for the representatives in the chamber to debate new legislation and make laws happen.
There's a long list of many well-established protocols and ceremonial gestures as the Mace is delivered to the chamber, and it should be noted that it is a timed affair, ideally completed within 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And while it's executed with the utmost respect, human emotion cannot be ignored. No one wants to trip during this aspect of the parliamentary process.
For sure. To be honest, I've been doing it a year now, and I don't think about it so much anymore, but now we've talked about it, I'm sure I'm going to be tripping. Thank you very much. You just jinxed me.
Thank you very much. Further debate.
When the House is meeting, the Mace is always present in the chamber under the care of the Sergeant-at-Arms. It is prominently displayed and visible from the visitors' gallery. At times, both ceremonial staffs, which represent our parliamentary heritage, are also showcased in the main lobby here at the Ontario Legislative Building. In 2009, this historic Mace was completely refurbished, and that included the addition of these 2 sparkling diamonds. These are among the first ever sourced in the province.
And if you were to look really carefully, but you can't see it with the naked eye, the top diamond has an inscription on it. The motto of the Legislative Assembly, Audi Altrum Partem, which means to listen to the other side.
The Mace bridges our historical heritage with the present and plays a vital role in shaping our parliamentary democracy. For the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, I'm Anwar Knight.